Hey y'all, welcome back to 234 in La Casa. This is Baby. He's a new addition. He's so sweet. He's so cute. I'm so in love with him. He's teeny tiny. He only weighs about maybe 12, 13 pounds. But anyway, I brought y'all back today to give you all a wonderful recipe. It's a brownie recipe. When I was a kid growing up, my grandmother, she actually worked in a school cafeteria. She was a cook there. And this is going to be the recipe that they would use to make chocolate treats for the kids, like little desserts for the kids around Christmas time. So I'm going to bring you all over and show you how to make these wonderful, they're kind of like, they're just chocolate brownies. That's what they put me in the mind of. We're going to put some glorious chocolate icing on top of them. But like I said, this is a recipe that I found amongst some of my grandmother's things from when she was working in a school cafeteria down in Louisiana. So I'm excited to share this recipe with you guys. Similar to Lunch Lady Brownies almost. So anyway, I'll bring you all back over and I'll show you the ingredients. And y'all don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I do want to thank all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate you all. And don't forget to follow us on all of the socials as well. Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. All right, I'll see you all back over here in just a second. All right, guys, so this recipe calls for, you can use either a 13 by 9 inch baking dish for this or an 8 by 8. I'm gonna use an 8 by 8, and I've already sprayed my baking dish with some Pam baking spray, nonstick baking spray. And you're gonna want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And you're also going to wanna have 4 large eggs, and you wanna have those at room temperature. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and place in our saucepan a cup of butter. So that's gonna be 2 sticks of butter. And we're gonna melt this over medium heat. And along with the 2 sticks of butter, we're also going to use, gonna need 4 tablespoons of butter as well. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna melt a cup and 4 tablespoons. And while that butter is melting, we're gonna sift together a teaspoon of baking powder and a cup and a half of all-purpose flour and a teaspoon of salt. And I've got that all sifted here, and we're gonna set that aside. And once your butter is melted, we're gonna add 3/4 of a cup of cocoa. I'm gonna be using the Dutch processed cocoa. You can use whatever baking chocolate that you would like to use, but just make sure that it is unsweetened baking cocoa. Right, y'all, so it's melted. I'm gonna go ahead and add the 3/4 of a cup of the cocoa powder. And of course, you know, in my grandmother's recipe, she wasn't using Ghirardelli, she was using Hershey's cocoa. So you just use whatever cocoa you would like to. I'm gonna whisk this together, and I'm also going to add a couple of pieces of baking chocolate to this as well. And that's the Ghirardelli baking chocolate that I'm gonna be adding to it. It's just like 2 pieces. That's not in the recipe either. I'm just gonna add that just to add a little bit more chocolate. So that is optional. You do not have to add that to your butter or to the recipe at all. I get this all whisked together, and after it's whisked together, we're gonna set it aside and allow it to come to room temperature. We're gonna be combining this with our eggs and flour, and we don't want this to cook our eggs or have our eggs curdling. So we'll just set this aside and allow it to come to room temperature. Okay, and so you can use either a stand mixer or a hand mixer for this recipe. So we're gonna add 2 cups of sugar, white granulated sugar, to our mixing bowl. And we're gonna go ahead and add our 4 eggs to the mixing bowl. Okay, so we're gonna get this all mixed together using our paddle attachment if you're using a stand mixer. And we're going to mix this on a low speed setting. All right, so we've got this mixed together. I'm gonna lower my mixer down, or my bowl down, and we're gonna scrape the sides to just make sure you've got everything combined, all your sugar and everything, if you're using a stand mixer, okay? And see, some of my sugar and some of my egg is on my paddle attachment, so I'm just gonna clean that off some, and then I'll start my mixer back just for a little bit to make sure everything's well combined. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and add some of our dry to our wet, and it's just gonna be a gradual addition, okay? And we're going to mix in between each addition of the dry ingredients, okay, on a low speed setting. So I've got my stand mixer on setting 3. Okay, so this is our final addition of the dry. Okay, and then we're just gonna scrape down the sides of our bowl and underneath to make sure everything has been well incorporated. Scrape down the sides and underneath, so we're gonna give it one final mix before we get ready to add our chocolate and vanilla. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we'll go ahead and get that mixed together. And now we're gonna add our chocolate mixture. So we're gonna gradually add in some of the chocolate, not all of it. We're just gonna add it. I normally add mine 2 at a time, okay? So 2 additions at a time. So this will be the first addition, and then the second addition will be the final addition. So just added our second and final addition of chocolate to the batter. And now I'm gonna scrape down the sides and underneath just to make sure everything is getting well combined. All right, guys, so this is gonna be the final result of our chocolate dessert. Good old country chocolate dessert. You wanna go ahead and clean off your paddle attachment and get ready to pour this chocolate dessert into your 8x8 baking dish or 13x9 baking dish. If you use a 13x9, you're going to bake it for about 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. If you're gonna do 8x8 like what I'm doing, it's gonna be more like 45 to 50 minutes, okay? All right. All right, so this is what your batter is gonna look like right before you put it in the oven. And like I said, mine's an 8x8, so it's gonna be in the oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. All right, guys, so the brownies are done. I thought that I was recording and found out that I wasn't. So they came out of the oven. I baked these on 350 with my oven. It wound up being about, I think I said 45 to 50 minutes, and mine baked for about an hour. Okay, so this is the finished product. And the icing this is a double chocolate buttercream icing. I'll put the link in the description box of this video so that you all can see how to make the double chocolate buttercream icing. And so this is it. You can see the brownies. I'm gonna cut a slice and do a taste test for you all. Okay, and this icing is excellent on the brownies. And then your brownies are going to need to cool, come to room temperature for a few hours. Let them cool off and come to room temperature, which takes a few hours. And then you can go ahead and ice. I'm calling them brownies, but on the recipe, it was just called a chocolate dessert. It's similar to Lunch Lady Brownies, I think. With the icing and everything. So anyway, I'll go on and cut a slice and show you all what they look like on the inside. Okay, guys, so that's the inside of the brownie. Just cut a little piece there, and let me do another one so y'all can see too. That didn't fall. And you do not have to ice these with chocolate frosting if you don't want to. You can leave them plain. But this is what the inside looks like. And again, remember, I did an 8x8, so my brownies are going to be pretty thick. If you do a 13x9, they're going to be a little bit thinner than this. But they are so good. And I'm calling them brownies because that's what it reminds me of. It doesn't have like a cake texture. And it doesn't quite have the full-on chewy texture of a brownie or like a fudgy brownie. But it's very moist. It's chewy and it's cake-like at the same time. Not dry, very, very moist. And it's just titled as a chocolate dessert. So, like I said, it's my grandmother's recipe from about 50 years ago. And there you go. And it's so good, y'all. All right, well, I'll see you all next time at 234 in La Casa. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Sending love to you all, and you all have a beautiful, beautiful day.